We got next question, question 35. Create a new cluster role named deploy cluster role, which only allows us to create following resource types: deployment, stateful set, daemon set. Create a new service account named CICD in the existing namespace app1. Bind the new cluster role deploy cluster role to the new service account CICD. Limit it to the namespace app1. So let's just go ahead and create it. Create cluster role. This is what we are going to create. You can take help. You will find lots of commands which you can use as template, but I'm not using them. I'm saying deploy cluster role. This is what is expected. Deploy hyphen cluster role, and verb is create. This is the command that we are going to run on our resources. Resources deployment, stateful set, and daemon set. Deployment, stateful set, and daemon set. Daemon set. Let's just cross verify all are good. Yeah, and this is it. Let's just check whether our command is going to create right information or not. -o YAML. As we can see, deployment, stateful sets, and daemon sets are being defined as resources. I was only concerned about that. So let me just create it now. Okay, the cluster role has been created. Now we will just create the CICD service account. Create service account. Service account name is CICD-N app1. So it is service account. Okay. So CICD has been created. Now we are going to create a role binding between these two. So create cluster role binding. Create cluster role binding, and it is my deploy cluster role binding. I'm naming it as deploy cluster role binding, and here I'm going to specify my service account. Service account is inside the app1. This is the format that you have to specify. By default, if you don't specify, it will throw an error saying you need to specify it in this particular format. So I'm just specifying it well in advance. It is app1 colon the service account that we have created, CICD. Basically, this is a mandatory thing to do as part of this command. And then we have to specify the cluster role. Cluster role is equal to deploy cluster role. So as part of the question, it is deploy hyphen cluster role that we created earlier. Now we are specifying it, and this should be it. Okay, so we have created the cluster role binding. Let's just check how it looks like. So you can check it by describe cluster role binding, and here you just need to name it. You need to give the name of it. Deploy cluster role binding. This is what we created. Now if you check The binding is actually between role and subjects. And role, what we have created is cluster role. Name is deploy cluster role. And then we have the subjects like service account is my subject that is applicable within app namespace, and my name of the service account is CICD. So this is it. These commands are very much available in the help section. If you face any problem, you can just run these commands like create cluster role binding, and you would find a template inside the help. So you can use that if it is needed, but it's just three syntax that we use. So I don't think if you practice it once or twice, you would be able to use it. Thank you guys. See you.